Well, we've got a new addition to our flock today. We've got a couple of red crosses that we bought. We like to get basically 2 new egg layers every year. Right now we're down to, I believe, 5. We've got 3 azure blues and we have 2 red crosses. The 2 red crosses really aren't laying anymore. They're older birds. Only 2 of the 3 azure blues are laying. We got one that's lays very intermittently, so that's not as expected. The other ones are pretty consistent. But we got 2 more red crosses. These girls should start laying in a couple weeks, hopefully, and we're going to introduce them to the flock gradually. We have a system that we use that's worked pretty well. In the past, we have done a bunch of different things, but we used to just take and introduce these at night into the coop, put them in once all the other birds are set for the night, put them in, and that would work fairly well. But I think the proverbial pecking order, it takes a little bit longer for them to get accustomed to the birds that way, what I found. So we're going to gradually introduce them. We get our mobile brooder out, we hook it up to our existing chicken run that we have, and we divide that run in half, allowing these birds to have their own section for a period of time, and then we'll introduce them that way. We did that with the azure blues. It seemed to work pretty well, so let's get started. Oh man, I hate when you gotta move a lot of stuff to get to something you need. So the idea at this point is we're going to get our mobile brooder backed up to this spot right here. We have an opening. So the back of this mobile brooder fits perfectly where that opening is. The ramp will come down so they can get in and out. So the new chickens will have their own space for security at night. The original chickens have their coop, which has an automatic door on it, so they're safe at night. And they'll have their own space until they get fully introduced to each other, and then we'll put them together in the same enclosure. But first we got to get the area over here cleaned up. I got to get the divider in, and then we'll open up the fence and we'll get these 2 pieces mated together. We'll get our new birds in here with some fresh water and some food, and we'll see how they like each other. These are our dividing walls. They're just made out of cattle panels, and we have a little plastic fencing on it to make the holes a little bit smaller so the birds can't get through. But these are what we're going to set up inside in the middle, and once we get those set up and divided off and all the other chickens are on the other side, we'll open up the fence here and we'll get our mobile brooder mated up there and get our birds in. So for right now, just putting these up against the outer pipes. I'm just going to use some rope to tie them in place. I'd use bungees, but I don't have any handy, so I'll tie these on. Someday I got to make some hinges for this, but that's a welding project for another day. So this is the part that takes a little finagling because we got to line these up evenly. It's just about the right size, so it'll take us a little back and forth, but we'll get it on there. So close. That looks good to me. I'm going to actually take the bungee cords that I took off of holding that door on and put those around the inner dividers. Use that to hold those on. And we'll work on getting the birds in here. So I don't know if anybody's seen it in the background, but if you look, we've got this huge volunteer pumpkin. That's actually our blueberries back in there, but it started to grow. We let it grow. Got bigger than we thought. There's a few pumpkins in there. Part of the vine is looking like it's starting to die back, but figured we'd see what we got. Actually, the chickens actually were able to eat a pumpkin through the fence, so they got a little treat from it. So as long as it keeps going, we'll keep it there. We've done videos on this in the past. We use this for our meat birds, mostly our turkeys, when we transition them out of a stock tank brooder. We want to start getting them in outside. We'll transition them into this brooder. But it also works great as a emergency coop for chickens. If we have a sick chicken or something like that, we can transfer them into here. But it also works great for introducing new birds to our flock, because we can have the birds still have access to the main pen with the divider, get accustomed to the other birds, but still have their own space at night, so that there's no problem with them getting pecked or anything by the other birds in the initial introduction phase. So I'm going to get some waterers and a feeder. I'm going to put them in here so it's all set, and then I'm going to get the new birds in here. We a lot of times when we use it as a brooder, we will put cardboard inside over the 1-inch wire that we have. We'll put cardboard and shavings, but for this purpose I'm going to leave this open so any of their droppings will go through onto the ground. I don't have to worry about the mess the shavings are going to make. It'll give them better ventilation for this time of the year also, because it is very hot. In fact, we have a temperature sensor. It's 92 degrees. So yeah, so we're going to leave that open for ventilation purposes. It'll make it easier to clean up after we're done. We've got our water and our food in there, so now we're going to get the birds in. So they've ventured out. Themselves a little dust bath. So they're getting accustomed to their new home, and we'll let their sisters get accustomed to them. So we've got everybody settled. We'll probably leave them in there for about a week at least, see how they're doing. Everybody looks like they're kind of curious of each other, and looks like they'll get along. We'll let them out into the entire coop. We'll take that divider wall down, but I'll probably leave the mobile coop that we have in there for another week so they can go back in there if they are being allowed by the other ones in the main coop. So, but eventually everybody will be friends as always, and that's just how the pecking order works with chickens. So thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed today's video, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we always would appreciate you subscribing to our channel. So until next time here on Sunny Side Up Farm, we hope all your days are sunny side up.